Hello, good evening, Sukruta. Good evening, Rajwade sir. Good evening, Deshmukh ma'am.
Good evening, madam. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, of course.
Good evening, everybody. Rajwade sir.
Namaskar, madam.
Durandar sir. Yes. Welcome, sir. Shall we start? Rajwade sir, welcome.
Sukruta, we are not able to hear you. Your volume is too low. Volume is too low.
Rajwade sir, shall we start?
Sir, please unmute. Yeah.
We must start on time.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, good evening, one and all. I am Sukruta Pete from Physics Department, Sathaye College. I am here to welcome you all on behalf of Sathaye College for this inaugural ceremony. First of all, I'll welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Snehalata Deshmukh. As you all know, she is former Vice Chancellor of University of Mumbai and member Board of Directors, PTVA. Thank you, Madam, for accepting our invitation and being here with us, for us. Then I welcome respectable Shri Bansidhar Durandar, who is our guest of honor. He is our honorary treasurer, PTVA. We are fortunate to have him here to deliver a keynote address to the gathering on the topic, My Journey as an Entrepreneur. It will be the very first activity of our ADC after the inauguration. So welcome, sir. Then I welcome Professor Samish Dalal. He's from AIFMB. He's also one of our guests of honor. Welcome, Samish, sir. A very warm welcome to Dr. Sucheta Pawar, President of IIC. Welcome, ma'am. I welcome our Honorable Principal, Dr. Madhav Rajwade, who is continuously guiding us in all these journeys. Thank you, sir. I also welcome our Vice Principals, Srimati Pramodini Sawant, Madam, and Dr. D.N. Nerkar, sir. Without their support, we can't do anything. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Respectable colleagues, I welcome you from bottom of my heart for joining for this program even at this hour, that is 5 p.m. now. Thank you so much. And dear students, welcome all of you. Because of your keenness to rather join this EDC, as soon as we told you about this EDC, you join immediately. So the momentum has started. So welcome all students. And I also welcome all the YouTube viewers. On behalf of Sathaye College here, I'll be just giving a brief introduction about what is EDC. All these short forms many times create a little bit of confusion. So EDC is Entrepreneur Development Cell. Knowing the necessity of fostering the culture of innovation in any higher education institute, Sathaye College is establishing its Entrepreneur Development Cell, that is EDC, to inculcate within the faculty and students the need and importance of enterprise development and to promote the culture of research and innovation amongst the students. So this is what is our intention to start EDC. Along with that, Dalal sir has joined or not? I cannot see right now. Yeah, Dalal sir is here with us. He is our partner for our FMB cell. FMB is Family Managed Business Cell. So under FMB, we will be supporting students who are having background of family managed business. So for them, we will be having one program. It will be an online program of management, and soon we will be starting with it as soon as we start registration for that FMB cell. And that entire program is free of cost from AIFMB. So that is Asian Institute of Family Managed Business. So thank you so much for that MOU. So last week only we have signed that MOU. After this, I will request our Honorable Principal to express some words, and he will be talking, enlightening us about the mission and vision of our EDC. Over to Rajwade sir.
Thank you, Sukruta. And I'm so happy today that we are starting a new chapter in the life of Sathaye College. Our guiding light of PTVA, Dr. Snehata Deshmukh Madam, and Sri Vansidhar Dhurandhar sir, both of these, amongst other members of PTVA, are very, very dear to us because their constant guidance and their constant encouragement, support only drives us to do more and more. And I think those who might have observed the enthusiasm in the voice and demeanor of our teachers, signified by how Mr. Sukruta Pete spoke just now, is mere their presence propels us to do much better things. So I welcome them officially today, though they are part of us today on this particular journey on behalf of Sathaye College. Of course, I welcome Mr. Dalal because we have had a significant partnership only last week, which was started. Dr. Sucheta Pawar from Management Institute, who is interacting with our teachers and giving them more and more information about all these activities with which we have been associated for quite some time now. I must mention our vice principals, all our teachers and students who are always ready to support any new initiative, any new venture whenever it is launched. I've been told that I must draw a vision and mission or speak about vision and mission of the EDC, Entrepreneurship Development Cell. I think I have some thoughts, but I would think that just mere this particular fact, if we say that just an idea was launched and so many students immediately took initiative and joined and responded to this particular call of EDC. This particular initiative is going to define how this whole thing will shape in future. Because to my understanding that any such entrepreneurial activity is based on the simple basic requirement of taking initiative, taking the first step, taking the bold decision of starting something. And when you do that, I think you have done the major part, but that is obviously not enough because you do require some kind of training. You do require some kind of support in terms of starting such activities. I think our college particularly is placed very well to make success out of this venture, simply because the kind of courses we run, the opportunity to my mind or my vision would be, and also the mission, both the things, is that to actually realize the potential which we have. We run courses in almost all faculties which are there under the UGC, Arts, Science, Commerce, plus all self-financing courses which have been started from 2000, that is IT, BMS, BMM. So together, this is a great body of knowledge. Also, we have very good, well-supported laboratories and staffed by really able teachers. So with this, I think there is a potent mixture available of knowledge which must be explored fully. And then I think we have an opportunity to support any such idea which comes forth to a student's mind, because any idea without testing, I think there is no point in furthering that particular idea. So some such methodical support, some such methodical arrangement is quite possible in Sathaye College, because even under the current national education policy, it has been envisioned that each college should be multi-faculty. Because colleges, there are colleges who are single faculty, there are colleges which are double faculties, but Sathaye College is already a multi-faculty college. So I think in all these kinds of activities which have been planned under new national education policy, we already have all those prerequisites. So all that is required is that the initiative which has been shown by the students is adequately backed by the enthusiasm of our teachers, which I'm sure already exists, and also some of the non-teaching staff also, if they are required, their services are necessary. And if it is all this initiative of students is supported heavily by all these stakeholders, and we should not forget our past students, because all our past students by now, after 60 years of journey, are well established in their own fields. And one of the best example is that our today's guest speaker is our past student. He is an alumnus of Sathaye College. He studied chemistry in our own college. So this is the best example, a shining example of the past student fraternity. So they can also be a part of all this venture. We must share our dreams with them. We must share our plans with them, so that we can learn from them, like we are going to do today. So I think I will end my remarks by this, that we are quite fortunate to have this kind of team, this kind of setup, these kinds of guides in the form of Dr. Snehata Deshmukh Madam, Sri Banshidhar Dhurandhar Sir, and also I should mention Mr. Dalal and Mrs. Sucheta Pawar. Then I think for our achievement, only sky should be the limit. Probably even that should fall short if we plan well. What is important is that merely good initiatives are not enough, but we need to have all our plans properly grounded on the sound planning. So I'm sure we are in for a good treat today. We are going to listen to Sri Banshidhar Dhurandhar Sir. Many times I have been in the audience while he speaks. Ladies and gentlemen and dear students, I'm going to tell you that please listen very carefully to both of them, Dr. Deshmukh Madam and Banshidhar Dhurandhar Sir. Both of them carry a lot of experience with them, and it's worthwhile to listen to them, and not just that, but act on all the advice which is given. Only then the whole thing become really meaningful. I think that is all I want to say on this occasion, and I wish each one of you, the students and the teachers as well, very best in this endeavor which we are starting today. Let it be a historic day for each one of you, okay, where you can tell your parents, your friends, and your well-wishers that this was the day when all this began. Okay, thank you. Over to you, Sukrita.
Thank you so much, sir. As you rightly said, really it's a feast to our ears when we listen to Deshmukh ma'am. And also we have seen Dhurandhar sir, we have heard him, but today we are very much eager to listen to his story. So now I'll request Dr. Shilpa Jadhav to introduce Deshmukh ma'am. Shilpa.
Mike.
Good evening to all the dignitaries of the inaugural function. Let me all welcome you to the August gathering. It's my honor and privilege to get this opportunity to introduce a lady of such a stature. Dr. Snehata Deshmukh, Member Board of Directors, Parle Tilak Vidyalay Associations, has been one of the pioneers of pediatric surgery in the city of Mumbai, served in the neonatal department of KM Hospital for close to 35 years, after which she was appointed as Dean at Sion Hospital. Deshmukh Madam worked relentlessly for the children in the slum areas of Dharavi, most of which would come to Sion Hospital for treatment. Further, she was appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Mumbai University between 1995 to 2000 in the office of the university. Madam also has a book credited to her name titled Garbha Samskar, Tantra Ani Mantra. With her seamless and warm oratory skills, she continues to win hearts of the audiences, which is evident from the numerous events where she has been invited as the guest speaker. Today, after over 50 decades of practicing medicine, Madam continues to be an inspiration for many aspiring doctors as well as academicians. With all gratitude, we at Sathaye College welcome you for this inaugural function and request you to kindly share your views on the percolation of e-culture in our education system. I kindly request you, ma'am, to take over the mic and share your views.
Thank you, Shilpa, for a lovely introduction. As Sukruta telephoned me and she said, give your biodata. I said, you don't need my biodata because I never give my biodata to anybody. They start reading it and people then get bored as to how many awards and how many lectures you have delivered. So then Sukruta said, all right, I will do my best. I'll have a look at the computer and find out what you are. I said, I'm a part and parcel of Parle Tilak Vidyalaya, so you will know what it is. Well, today's topic is not my educational topic. I'm basically a surgeon and we cut to heal. What is very important to me is the wellness rather than treating illness. It is the wellness which is very, very important rather than we all get fever, we all get cough, cold, and then we start treating it. But prevention is the best thing to happen. And how do you prevent it? It's the environment which really gives rise to diseases. So it is the preventive aspect of looking at the environment, cleanliness. During the COVID days, everybody talks of masks, washing hands. But these are very essential things. Right from beginning, we have been told to wash hands with not only soap, but with various detergents, which kill germs. So now, in the days of COVID, this has become a business. And entrepreneurship is nothing else but how to build business, how to win their hearts, how to be useful to the mankind. Sucheta Pawar one day decided that she will do all her very best in the entrepreneurship development program. She organized a lady with a heart, qualities of heart, head, and limbs. And whatever she does with lot of happiness, pleasure, and which is very important to the mankind for health. Suchita one day decided that the Institute of Management, where she is a professor of economics, should take over research and find out how the entrepreneur skills can be developed as management techniques. As soon as she thought about it, we also helped her and said that, all right, let us do it with our students and how many of them do want to pursue this particular entrepreneurship and innovation. Because only entrepreneurship does not really work unless and until the person is innovative. If you look at the past, which I always feel teaches us quite a lot, our grandmother were great innovators. At that time, there were no things to preserve the food. And how they preserved the food in a big vessel with a big cork, and they used to tie a muslin cloth to preserve the pickle, to preserve the muramba. And this is how they were innovators, really. Then came the preservatives. And the preservatives now don't need those big cans. You can have it in small vessels also. This is how the entrepreneurship develops. It is thinking which is very important. So that is why Abdul Kalam, who was our president, he said, thinking is our capital. Entrepreneurship is the way and hard work is the solution. So it's not only the thinking of entrepreneurship, but hard work. One has to put in hard work so that the business goes on very well. It's earning money after all. Sathaye College has taken a program of family oriented business. Formerly, the goldsmiths had a family oriented business. The father was a goldsmith and his son would like to sit with him to prepare the ornaments. That is how the business started and picked up. Tailor was another way. A tailor's child would always look at the father, how he cuts it, how he stitches it, and that is how the clothes were made. The mother used to prepare pickle and various other things at home, even butter, and then the daughter picked up from her. Except that the daughter started learning. She was educated. The mother was not educated, but she knew the practical aspect. I'll give you one example from my own life. I was studying in Druya College and there was a chemistry practical. The experiment was endpoint and I got the endpoint very well. So the lecturer who was examining, he said, very good, well done. I came back very happy and my mother was preparing Srikhand Vadya. Srikhand Vadya is her favorite dish and she was stirring all the time. So I came home and I said, give it to me. I will do it. She said, no, you may not get the proper endpoint at which the vadi will be better. I said, no, today my lecturer said, you have done the best because the endpoint is absolutely correct. So let me do it. My mother handed over to me. And believe me when I say so, I stirred and stirred and stirred, but the end point was absolutely wrong. What happened was, it was a chicky which nobody could eat. The teeth would be breaking down. So the practical aspect is more important than theoretical aspect. I said that because in practice, it is very different from theory. So concentrate on the practical aspect of entrepreneurship and go ahead with full swing. Remember Abdul Kalam, it is thinking is the capital, entrepreneurship is the way, and hard work is the solution. So work hard, never deter, never falter, you will always win. Win-win situation is always very good situation. The second important point is read some stories of the entrepreneurs. You must be knowing the story of Kentucky Chicken, how it happened. He was not able to earn money. He had a retired person, but he knew that the chicken that he prepared was liked by everybody. So ultimately, it is the people's taste which is also to be considered, and that is how the Kentucky chicken became very popular. So there are several stories, but I won't waste time. We are all very keen to listen to Bansi Durandar, his journey as an entrepreneur, his journey as business. He has been a successful businessman, successful journey, and also a great speaker, a Rotarian par excellence. No wonder he commits himself to whatever he does, whether it is a board member, whether it is a treasurer, whether it is a Rotary Club meeting, he concentrates, works hard, and achieves his goal. So let me stop here and say in Sanskrit, Tushtirasthu, Pushtirasthu, Arogyamastu. This is the Ashirvachan which I want to give you. Not in the form of blessings, but you should be very, very happy. You should be healthy and wise and continue to work hard. And I appreciate the efforts of Principal Sukruta, the commitment of our own Sucheta, all the teachers of Sathaye College, and in particular, the young enthusiastic students. So let me give you blessings from the bottom of my heart. Let you be successful not only in your educational field, but also as an entrepreneur. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your words.
Thank you so much, madam. Actually, I mean, with these words, you have already inaugurated our EDC, but formally also from you, we believe that by your words, our EDC will be inaugurated. So, can I request you to just
Just
declare
say
that our
inaugurate.
EDC?
Yes, I have already inaugurated. I have given you blessings also.
Yes,
Blessings are for
yes.
particularly for your courage, conviction, devotion, dedication, and the wisdom that you have. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. All your blessings will be useful for us to walk by this through this path. I'll request Dr. Shilpa Jadhav again to introduce our keynote speaker and our guest of honor, Dhurandhar sir. Shilpa.
Madam, in the coming winter season, you've actually added warmth to our inaugural function. And thanks for all the blessings for this uh, endeavor of ours. Hope our students and all of us as a family get really motivated, moved, and acquire some kind of excellence in education. Thank you, Sukruta madam. I just moved this inaugural function a little ahead by introducing Sri Bansidhar Dhurandhar, Honorary Treasurer, Parletilak Vidyalay Association, and the current Director of Microtroll Sterilization Services Private Limited. Sir has been an alumnus of Parley College, which is also now known as the Sathaye College. He's pursued diploma in business management and Master of Science in biochemistry from the University of Bombay in 1975. He started his career in the field of pest control. A strong scientific base and affinity towards research made him acquire expertise in handling toxic gases. His research in the field of sterilization for developing countries earned him a prestigious award from the World Intellectual Property Organization, Geneva. Sir's pioneering work in the conservation of historical monuments, including the World Heritage Caves of Ajanta, is quite well recognized. Way back in 1983, a clear foresight and big business acumen made him start Microtroll, a company to provide sterilization of medical devices and food ingredients. His tireless work and will to succeed resulted in rapid growth. Today, Microtroll has 20 factories all over India and one in Vietnam. Microtroll has become synonymous with highest quality and prompt services. Most of the multinational food and pharma companies are on his clientele list. Sir chose Rotary as a field of his social work. As a charter member of Rotary Club of Bombay Airport in 1988, he led the club admirably in 1994 to 95 as president. He rose to the most coveted position of district governor of Rotary International in the year 2008-9 and provided leadership to 125 Rotary clubs. He mobilized members and corporate to contribute around $1.78 million, almost 8 crore rupees, to the Rotary Trust during this year. In 2016, he represented District 3140 at Rotary's Parliament, called as Council on Resolution. He continues to help the industry by sharing his vast experience and has been convener of Hospital Equipment Sectional Committee of Bureau of Indian Standards. Sir is also a certified lead auditor for ISO. He strongly believes in repaying to his dues to his alma mater. Interested in education, he is on the board of directors as well as the honorary treasurer of Palatilak Vidyalaya Association. I take this opportunity to welcome you, sir, to today's inaugural function and deliver a keynote address on a topic that is your journey to an entrepreneur. Welcome you, sir, and kindly take over to address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Yadav, for that very generous introduction. Frankly, when you hear such kind of introduction, and then you're asked to speak, the wisest advice from my advisors is keep quiet and sit down. And I'm telling you, it's extremely difficult for me, especially when our teacher, Dr. Deshmukh, has already spoken and given her blessings for this unique feature. But coming to Sathaye College, any kind of function is very special, and a reference was made of that. So I would not lose this opportunity to share a few of my thoughts with the youngsters. Principal Dr. Madhav Rajwade, Chief Guest of the function Dr. Snehata Deshmukh, all the teachers of this prestigious institution, students, and the prospective entrepreneurs. A very good evening to you. First and foremost, my compliments to Sathaye College for this unique achievement of starting Entrepreneurship Development Cell, which is in today's world is very, very important and extremely useful to the budding entrepreneurs. When possibly we started our business, such kind of activities were not there. Well, things could have been easy, things would have been different. Now opportunities are more. You need a lot of support, and I'm sure an organized support like this would be of extreme help to the newcomers into the business. Friends, let me tell you something, that no one is born as entrepreneur. Even if you are born in the family of business tycoons, you have to inculcate certain skills to become an entrepreneur or a businessman. Like Dr. Madam said, Dr. Deshmukh talked about a goldsmith continuing his family business. When I tell my surname as Dhurandhar, people ask me, are you a doctor? Or somebody calls my home and say, I want to speak to Dr. Dhurandhar. And I have to ask them, which Dr. Dhurandhar? My wife is a doctor. My brother is a doctor. My uncle is a doctor. Which Dr. Dhurandhar you want to speak? Well, to tell you the truth, I tried that way, but I failed miserably. Somebody says, Dhurandhar Vakil ko milna hai. My late father was an advocate. My elder sister, she is a lawyer and she was a judge of the family court. So these professions are in the family, but what you do is what your heart tells you to do. And that is what is most important. When we talk about getting into business or being an entrepreneur, various theories emerge. Of course, there are management schools which teach us many things. We talk about knowledge, we talk about expertise, we talk about patience, we talk about killer instinct, exuberance, discipline, compassion, conviction, dedication, so many words, jumble of words. But what management school doesn't teach you is what life teaches you. A teacher in college or school teaches you a lesson first and then put you at a test. But in life, you are put to test first, which teaches you a lot of lessons. And once you accept this fact, then you go all out to really defend yourself. Narayan Murthy, the chairman of Infosys, was called once. So what is the success? What is the secret of success of Infosys? And he said only one thing: fear of tomorrow. Narayan Murthy is saying fear of tomorrow is the secret of success, which tells you everything. That no complacency is ever permitted so far as business is concerned. You can't take things for granted. You have to constantly react to changing environment. And to do that, friends, you need to change your perception. And I cite this example. One day, the former president of United States, Barack Obama, decided to take his wife out for a dinner. Now, of course, President of America going for a dinner, the whole White House, got organized. So they selected a very, very beautiful restaurant in the city of Washington, D.C. And of course, the royal couple went for their dinner. It was a massive, huge place, a very well-known place for them to eat. As the couple was sitting and eating, Barack Obama realized that the owner of the hotel was getting friendly with Michelle. And no husband normally likes this. So he made a comment to Michelle. He said, Michelle, do you know this man? Why is he so friendly with you? And Michelle blushed. She said, yes. During college, he was my boyfriend. Now, Barack Obama could not take this. This is, my wife is telling that he was my boyfriend. So just to tease her, he said, if you had married him, you would have become owner of this beautiful place. Michelle said, no. Had I married him, he would have become president of America. This kind of complete change of your perception has to be there if you want to become an entrepreneur. Well, lot of contributions so far as I'm concerned. I started my career way back in 1975. And as I look back, 45 years of my work, there are a lot of contributions by many people to my career. And if I say that I'm the only one who did it, it's totally a false statement I would ever make. And I wouldn't dare to make, because in my whatever success that I have, I don't know whether I'm really successful or not, but then whatever I've got today is the contribution of many in terms of their help, in terms of their association, in terms of their support, in terms of their advice, and so many things. Sathaye College itself, huge contribution of this college to my career. First 4 years I spent in Sathaye College. That where my base was very, very strong. Let me tell you, friends, I come from a conservative family and from Tirak Vidyalaya. So English was a problem. Coming from a Vernac and then trying to speak in English to people, that total change was basically because what Sathaye College provided, the kind of mixed group we used to have. Luckily, those days for science, we had Marathi medium students and English medium students in the same classroom. We were about 150 of us. Now that kind of made us mixed group. Then mixed group, once you have, you automatically stop talking in Marathi with them. So that's where the basis of my talking or my speaking abilities really developed. What more? I got my life partner here. First 2 years that I spent, I got acquainted with my now wife, Surekha. Well, she went to a medical college. I remained behind because I could not get good marks. But that friendship continued. Eventually, we got married. I learned from him what is called as compromise. In spite of being a very learned pediatrician, she decided to take a sort of a second step because I had to work hard. Children were there. So she opted not to really pursue her practice to an extent she would have. She would have become an excellent and very, very famous and well-known pediatrician. Not that she's not, but she could have developed career. She could have gone for her hospital, but she sacrificed. She compromised. And that's a huge contribution of Surekha to my life. Friends, post BSc, when I'm asked to talk about my career, few people I should mention. My late father had a good friend called Mr. Mahendra Nanavati. I still remember that day. Before my BSc exam, he came to our place, and in this is normal, usual style, he says, "Hey, su kare chhe?" So I said, "Uncle, trying to appear for BSc. Tari exam kya rahe chhe?" So I told, I think those days, April was the exam. So I gave a date, I think. Kya puri thai chhe? So I said 15th of April. He promptly took his diary out, wrote down 15th April and went. It didn't occur to me what he was up to. On 15th April morning, promptly he was at home. Says, it told my father, "Dhurandhar, I'm taking your son." So father said, "Fine, take him wherever he wants to because he has full faith in him." He put me into his car, took him to his factory in Morol. He was into plastic. That those days, plastic technology was really booming. And Mahendra Nanavati had a huge flourishing business in plastic molding, plastic coating and whatnot. Nanavati Dice Tools, Nanavati Plastics, Advanced Plastics, where so many companies. He put me into training. First day I reached there, he handed me over to a die maker called Mr. Raut. "Raut, apno chokro che, taiyar karwano." And he went away. Ever since then, all my vacations were spent at Nanavati Plastics. Being a science student and a chemistry graduate, I never knew about what machines are. I had never seen a lathe machine. I had never seen a milling machine. But in that course of next 2 to 3 years, spending my vacations at Nanavati Plastics, what I learned was all the mechanical components, which helped me a lot in my future work. That is where I learned that hands-on training is extremely essential. And that you should bear in mind that whatever entrepreneurship you have, whatever business you are in, basic machine handling you must know. Once people who are working under you realize that my boss knows everything about business, they don't try to take any chances with you. Otherwise, they can dictate terms, they can make you dance. So unless you know what you're doing, possibly if there is some problem, you should be in a position to take your shirt out and start working on the machine. Then you realize how important it is to know the basics of your business. I joined, of course, after that training, I went for my master's to KM Hospital in Biochemistry department. And working for my MSc in a hospital was a different experience for me. Those days we used to have lectures in different colleges. Morning sometimes in Wilson College, then go to Institute of Science, and then come to KM for practical. So there's always a lot of free time. Opposite KM Hospital, there used to be an Irani restaurant. And our group used to go and sit there because morning 7 o'clock you go to Wilson College, Chowpatty, obviously you're hungry. By the time you reach KM, it was 9 o'clock, and then you only have practical starting at 10. So 1 hour, what you do? So go in that Irani restaurant, eat your omelette or something and chai, and spend time. Peculiarity of that Irani restaurant was that his income was not selling bread, butter, tea, or omelette. His income was a telephone. Those were the days where public telephone was the only way of communication. And there used to be a long queue of people waiting to use that public telephone. Sitting there, I developed a very nasty habit of listening to the conversation. People used to pick up phone and start talking. And the general talk was, there should be pleasant moments that, okay, the patient is okay, is doing fine. Possibly 2 days later, we'll, get the release order and we'll go back home. Sometimes just to be bad, that no hope. Unfortunately, we're not going to see the patient. There will be concerns. So much of money has been spent. What to do? Where to get this money to spend for investigations? Lot of conversations. There, I realized what human life is. Life is not always happy. There are bad moments. There are challenging moments. And that's where I think compassion developed into me, that I must do something for others. Well, the age was against me. I was not in the mood to really utilize that compassion for doing something physically for somebody. But the seed was sown. Eventually, I joined, after my Masters of Science, I joined a company called Pest Control India. And I was in the research division. Working in pest control made me face tremendous challenges. Of course, initiative was mine, but working with chemicals, working with animals, working with reptiles, put your hand into a burrow to catch a rat, and you come across a reptile, maybe a snake or a scorpion, was not a pleasant experience. But then that put me into training, that if I have to beat that fright for any kind of snake bite, I must know how to handle snakes. So I opted to go to Hafkin Institute and learn snake handling. These were opportunities coming your way to really add on something onto you. That these extra kind of techniques, you don't know where it will help you. As they say that cycling, motor driving, and swimming are three essential elements that every person should know. You never know when they are going to be helpful to you. Chemicals were dangerous. I handle hydrogen cyanide gas, and I still remember that incidents where, like an idiot, I tried to bottle hydrogen cyanide gas. And while doing so, there was a major accident. When I opened my eyes, I was almost 10 feet away from where that experiment was on. Luckily, I don't know how I survived, but yes, I'm there talking to you now. This was a story maybe 40 years ago. But such things happen. So taking risk, yes, it is important. Undue risk, unless you know the consequence, it is difficult to really assess, was it undue risk or due risk? But I did take it. Opportunities coming my way. One day I was sitting in the laboratory, and Hindustan Lever, the entire research team walked into our lab. They had a unique problem. Those days, Lux cake was used to be in only colored form. Pink, yellow, blue. They never had launched white Lux. First time they launched white Lux. Now, Hindustan Lever launching a product, the product was in tons, almost about 2,000 tons of soap was manufactured and distributed all over India. After a while, they started getting complained that that white Lux cake has got black spots on it. So the Unilever gang came from London. They're trying to examine what has gone wrong. Obviously, they found out the solution, that it was basically because of a fungus called Aspergillus versicolous. And that came from packaging material. So obviously, it was all efforts were rooted to disinfect those packaging materials. Now, that was fine, but then and they called back all that material was destroyed. But the point was, wherever these products were stored, the godowns were already infected. The fungus was there. And any new material putting into those godowns would have got affected. So they wanted to disinfect the godowns. The godowns were huge. What to do? They had no clue. Obviously, we were in pest control trying to work with insects, so they thought possibly this company will help us. So they landed. Then we started interacting with Unilever, and the recommendation was that only one chemical, which is called ethylene oxide, will work against this fungus. Nobody knew what ethylene oxide was. Since it is petrochemical, we contacted NOCIL, National Organic Chemical. And NOCIL said, yes, we can make ethylene oxide. So those days, they made ethylene oxide, put into a 2 kilo small cylinder and gave it to us. So we ran some experiment at the Unilever laboratory, and they said, yes, it will work. You can fumigate with this gas all the godowns. Now, how are you going to fumigate? Because ethylene oxide is flammable, explosive. You can't release that gas as such. So they said, mix it with carbon tetrachloride. So we started mixing ethylene oxide with carbon tetrachloride, took that chemical and started fumigating their godowns, and it worked well. Then I was asked to go to Calcutta to do this job. And again, that idiocy comes. In a 35 kg plastic carboy, I took carbon tetrachloride, dissolved ethylene oxide into it, and tried to carry that carboy on a train all the way to Howrah. Near Nagpur station, I realized that carboy is bulging, and anytime it will give way because that gas was boiling. Somehow managed to get ice from the station, douse that carboy with cold water to cool it down, and somehow reached Howrah station, and we carried out that job. Learning was how to handle emergencies. You to have presence of mind. This can happen only when you are exposed to that kind of working. So taking that risk was important. Had I not done, I would not have touched ethylene oxide ever in my life. Then came an opportunity. IDPL Rishikesh came to us, said, look, hey, you have done something with ethylene oxide. We have an antibiotic plant. We are making sodium and procaine penicillin, which is required. Ethylene oxide is required to sterilize that product. So where are you getting it from? So we are getting it from Russia. We have a pile of 500 cylinders, ethylene oxide and carbon dioxide. We use that gas. And when we asked the company, Union Carbide was making it, they said, no, dump the cylinder into sea. We don't want those cylinders because we can't use them. So we have a huge pile of about 500 cylinders in our compound. Do what you want if you can really, take care of them. So we started working in Department of Explosives to find out whether the cylinders can be used. Now these cylinders, to our surprise, were of Yugoslavian origin, made before the Second World War. Who was going to give permission to reuse them? But we convinced Department of Explosives, got them hydrostatically tested, and started mixing this gas. This was the beginning of my business so far as sterilization was concerned, when I exposed to ethylene oxide. Then, of course, I went to US, where I worked with a company called Microbiatrol, who was into sterilization of medical disposables. This was a company who was using ethylene oxide gas to sterilize medical disposables. Incidentally, when we talk about sterilization, for listeners, we do sterilization of medical disposables which cannot be sterilized by heat or steam. It's a cold sterilization. Ethylene oxide gas sterilization is one technique. Another technique is radiation, gamma radiation or electron beam. We started with ethylene oxide. So this was one line we pursued. Then there was one more requirement from archaeological department. Everybody knows about Ajanta caves. Ajanta caves are sort of fresco paintings which are known world over. What they have done is the rock cut surface in the cave has been covered with sort of a plaster which is made of some natural material. And on that, inorganic colors, mostly iron oxides, are used for painting. All the paintings are of inorganic color, except for Persian blue, which came from Persia then. So imagine those 1,000 years ago, there was a trade between India and Persia. Archaeological department approached us saying, paintings are falling down and you have to do something. So obviously we took a search, thinking that it's an ideal atmosphere for any kind of insect or vertebrate to live and proliferate, because it's dark, it's humid. So when we took a search, instead of finding that there are cockroaches or there are rats or there are bats, What we found was silverfish. Millions and millions of silverfish were inside. And we're trying to find out why silverfish should be there. Because if the atmosphere is conducive for any kind of insect to grow, why only silverfish? That means silverfish has got a specific food which anybody else cannot. So we analyzed the plaster, and rightly so, in plaster we could get natural starch. The plaster was made of hay, some sand, and natural starch. And silverfish was eating starch. Once the starch was eaten, the binding was gone, and the whole plaster, along with the painting, was falling down. So the came of how to treat. Now imagine Ajanta caves, cave number 1 or cave number 2, where Panigraha is there. How can you fumigate that cave? You can't use any other gas. You can't use a poisonous gas. So again, matter was referred to few of the research scientists, and recommendation was same. Only way is you can use ethylene oxide gas. Now, ethylene oxide you cannot use ethylene oxide gas alone because it is flammable and explosive. So we mixed it with carbon dioxide in huge quantities. And that mixture was used in that cave. First job, I still remember, 4 nights I did not sleep because when the fumigation was on, I was cursing myself. I said, what have I done? World Heritage Site I have put into stake. If an explosion has to happen, imagine what could have happened to our country's prestige. Another, everyday morning, the foreigners used to come and they see cave number 1 and 2 closed. And I used to curse myself. I said, they have come all the way to Ajanta to see these caves and they cannot see the cave because they are being under fumigation. What have I done? But after 4 days, when I opened the caves and vented all the gas out with various techniques, the kind of kill of those silverfish was phenomenal. Japanese government, really admired us having done that job. And of course, then the repeat jobs cave by cave. So entire Ajanta caves were fumigated to see to it there are no silverfish there. So such kind of opportunities keep on life. You really encash them, but then risk bearing has to be there. Well, there were so many other things when I started working with toxic gases. Those were the time when aerosol started coming into, or we never used to use aerosol as we are doing now. And those days, freon gas was used as a propellant in all aerosols because it was a neutral gas, inert gas. But freon was turned out to be toxic to environment. So freon was banned. What gas could you use? So the option was to use LPG gas. But LPG gas, because you have to have a warning agent. If LPG leaks, then there could be a catastrophe. So industrial practice is that you put mercaptan, which is a sulfur compound, into LPG as a warning agent. Now that is dicey because if you use warning agent into LPG and if you have to use LPG as a propellant, what can happen to your perfumes? So you have to soften the gas. So again, that research thing which was in mind came to fore. I started talking to ACC. ACC was manufacturing molecular sieves then. So we set up a plant with ACC to use molecular sieves as absorbent, to absorb mercaptan. So we set up a laboratory plant where LPG was pushed through this column of sieves, took the mercaptan out and softened LPG gas, which was used subsequently into aerosol. Now, of course, that industry has really grown. It is matured. So refineries are giving LPG without mercaptan only for aerosol. But this was the pioneering work which I contributed a lot, and I'm really proud and happy for doing that. Working, once I set up a company, the expansion was inevitable because it was a pioneering work. Offer sterilization services to medical device industry was not known. BARC had one plant of gamma radiation near Mahul. And there used to be a long queue because any medical device, if you want to sterilize, you have to go to BARC. So I thought of ethylene oxide as an alternate technique and set up a unit, small unit in Powai with the help of my partner. Initially, it was difficult because nobody could believe that we could sterilize their product. But slowly, it caught up. Best of service. I don't think I had taken a vacation for years, not even Sunday for that matter, because everybody would manufacture his product, dump in our unit on Saturday, and expected that his sterile product should be available to him for selling on Monday morning. So all vacations, all holidays, we found ourselves working. But Junun tha, so we really worked hard, and it helped us. So customer requirement was what I learned most, because the moment you say no to a customer, you are making him find a competitor for you. He'll always look for competitors. So saying no to a customer is not in our dictionary. Joining Rotary, as I said, that seed of compassion which was sowed when I was in KM Hospital really emerged when I joined Rotary. To work for various projects of Rotary was something different. Because I realized that, friends, when you are into jungle, the animal instinct is survival. When we play, especially playing against Pakistan, we always say that our players lack the killer instinct. But have you thought about what is basic human instinct? The basic human instinct is helping others. And that instinct surfaces as you grow in life. Once your basic needs are taken care of, you really think of others. And once that instinct really grows, you need some platform to work. And I think Rotary provided that for me. I can cite that example. As a governor, of course, becoming governor was a logical conclusion to what I was working. I never joined Rotary to become district governor. But as a governor, one day, one of the clubs invited me to visit Tata Hospital. And as usual, I went. I said, okay, some project, some must be inauguration of some of the medical equipment which we had donated. They took me to fourth floor, which was the pediatric ward. And some gift distribution was on. Somebody wanted a doll, somebody wanted a carom board, somebody wanted a cricket ball, a cricket bat. The kids were coming, we were giving those gifts to them. They were happy, dancing, everything was nice. And then I started meeting parents, and I realized that something is wrong, because I could I could see the fear in their eyes. So I asked one of the Rotarians who was the club member. I said, "What is this?" I said, "Sir, this is the ward of terminally ill children, and possibly this is their last wish." When I was going out, a small girl came with her doll in her hand. She was extremely happy, held my hand and said, "Uncle, when are you coming back?" And I realized that even if I go there again, I'm not going to see her. But the smile on that child's face was something which money cannot give you at all. That I've satisfied what she wanted when she never knew that she's not going to be there next time, was something unusual. And that really pushed me into doing something for others. So any kind of opportunity that comes my way of giving something back to society, there is no saying no to. And that's what this organization teaches you. Time is important for any kind of entrepreneur. One day I was standing at the Churchgate station and I saw a man running on the platform because the local train had just left and he was trying to catch that train. Obviously, people standing on the platform gave way for him to run so that he could catch the train. People who were in the compartment, trying to give him a hand, said, run fast, catch the train." He tried his best. He could not. The train went away. So dejected, he started walking back, and somebody stopped him and said, "Arey, itna bhaga, aur thoda jaldi bhagta tha. You should have run little fast." He says, "No, I should have started little earlier." That's the concept of time. So always remember time factor. Anything you do, observe that time is extremely important to be a good entrepreneur. Dress, yes, we talk about dressing, okay? Like you have to dress well. You have to dress to the occasion. That is what my sincere advice to you is. Americans go in a short pant. Well, they are in America, we are in India. Go for a business meeting, dress yourself properly. It is not that you are dressed well. It shows that you are giving respect to whom you are meeting. If you accept that concept that you are respecting people whom you are meeting by dressing well, all questions are answered. Your stature, your body. You cannot abuse your body because you have to be extremely fit to take all the challenges of life. And if you are not healthy, you are unable to really give justice to what you're doing. In Rotary, when I was moving, obviously when you go for a function, people would request you to have dinner. And jokingly, I used to say that, I know it's very tasty and very sumptuous, but few things I would like to do at home still. So, that little humor, but then people accepted it. You have to be ethical. There is no two ways about it. Any complaint that you get when you're working as an entrepreneur, any complaint that you get, statistically, 32 others have not bothered to complain. Accept that fact. That if you don't attend to one complaint, 32 others who have not bothered to complain are also affected. So attending that complaint is extremely important. And then there is no, so to say, price to it. Replacement, yes, free replacement. Service, repair, immediate repair. Giving concessions, do that. Attending, like people are worried about, he will give me galis. Accept those bad words. What is there? Because you have done something wrong to him. Once you say that he is not satisfied because you're not done as his expectations, it will automatically help you. And preparations, never go unprepared. For your meetings, for your on production line, you have to be 100% prepared to accept those challenges. Edmund Hillary conquered Everest, but you know that? It was not his first attempt. Every time that he could not climb Everest, he used to look at Everest and say, hey, you are going to be there where you are, but next time I come, I'll come more prepared. So any kind of challenges, if you feel that you have not achieved, don't worry about it. Prepare more and then again try it. Reaching on the top is like climbing a pyramid. Pyramid has a huge base. It's quite broad, so there's a lot of competition there. Your job is to start climbing up, because once you reach the top of the pyramid, you are alone there. So reaching the top, there is no competition. So whatever you do, your expertise, your knowledge, your service, your satisfaction to a client, reaching the top is extremely important, because once you reach that, no competition at all. And friends, sharing joy with your associates, with your customers, people who are working with you, extremely important to make them happy. And you are in a position to make them happy, provided you yourself are a successful businessman. My childhood, I spent at a place called Khandala. Everybody knows about Khandala. First shower, and the entire jungle around used to be full of fireflies, kazwe, jugnus. Children used to get together. One day we caught all those jugnus, put into a glass bottle, and came home. Shut off all the lights in the house, and saw that whole bottle getting, really brightened up because of light. Suddenly, all the lights used to spark. Enjoyed for a while. As the night progressed, we never knew when we went to sleep. Next day morning, when we got up, all that light was gone. All the fireflies were dead. Joy is like that. You can't contain joy. You have to share it. So as an entrepreneur or as a businessman, try and share that joy with all your associates. That will give you tremendous satisfaction. And friends, जाते जाते few sentences that जिंदगी में सदा मुस्कुराते रहो. मुस्कुराना जिंदगी की जरूरत है. जिंदगी जियो तो इस अंदाज से कि आपको देख लोग कहें जिंदगी बहुत खूबसूरत है. Getting into business, staying in business, and really expanding your business is a natural phenomenon. You observe certain principles in your life. Day is not too far when you will be at the helm of your affairs. So choose what you want, what you feel is right, and give your best. And that's it. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Mike, Sukrita, Mike.
Much, sir. Before thanking you, sir, I am thanking Rajwade sir for suggesting your name to be our keynote speaker for today's session. As Deshmukh madam rightly said, that to be entrepreneur, you first listen to entrepreneur's story, and we are really lucky to actually get to learn your story. What not was there in your story. Sir started with modesty. We can see that he was grateful for contribution of others in his life, others sacrifice, others appreciation, guidance, advice. He shared how to listen. He shared how listening to telephonic calls, he started understanding the life. Extreme hard work. I mean, at the beginning, I just thought once that when Sir shared that his grandfather took him to one industry, plastic industry. Maybe some students also might have thought, "Arey ha, inko godfather tha," but no. Extreme hard work, without holidays, pursuing for knowledge, taking risk, showing presence of mind, having research, attitude, searching opportunities, and taking various kinds of experience. Everything was there. Junoon, we are really, it was fantastic. And I hope everybody is having the same feeling. I'm now handing over this session to Dr. Swati Atrekar for moderating the question answer session. Swati,
Thank you,
are you there? Yeah.
Thank you, Sukrita madam. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Sir, your journey has has been really interesting. We are all inspired by your great words. Sir, the journey from Parla College to Micro Tool, the experience you shared is definitely extremely useful for our students in their future endeavor. So your hardworking nature and the passion with which you led your business to the international level is really admiring. It says that words do two major things. They provide food for the mind and create light for understanding and awareness. Sir, I'm sure your words must have inspired our students, the beginners, towards their goals. Sir, there are a few questions for our students. I would like to brief these questions to you. May I take this privilege to ask you this question, sir?
Oh, sure. I hope I can answer them.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, here the question which I have received on personal chat box are, sir, how do you define success?
Success cannot be defined. Success is unlimited. There is no limit to success. So you keep on working. That's it. I told you the story of Infosys. That biggest secret of success is fear of tomorrow, and that is where, see, essentially these are all शब्दांचा खेळ म्हणतो तसं आहे.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to play around with words. That doesn't really help you. Right now is as Dr. Deshmukh talked about the opportunity. This COVID-19 epidemic or pandemic has really given huge opportunities. And that's what I was stressing upon. When you talk about words, there is something called evolutionary. And we were told, or we were taught, that constantly you have to be evolutionary, which means every day something new should happen, right? You have to improve yourself. Every day something new should happen, and continue doing it. So evolutionary was the means of any kind of business. At the same time, is to say that sometimes you have to be revolutionary. That sometime has come now. Suddenly things have changed so fast that remaining evolutionary is not going to help you. You have to be revolutionary. And that revolution could be in terms of phenomenal changes in everything. This meeting, for example, who had even thought about having Zoom meetings? Like sometimes we have a huge, like 700, 800 people Zoom listening to you, which was not possible. Nobody could even think about it. The kind of markets which have grown so far as disinfectants are concerned, nobody could have thought about it. But that revolution has happened. So ride on that revolution. That is going to give you success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, Sukruta Pethe madam has asked one question to you. Did you ever get disappointed, feeling of losing everything? How did you overcome that?
Luckily not. Luckily not. There was, setbacks are there. It's not that whatever I got, whatever I wanted, I got. But there was no disappointment. Because as I said, Edmund Hillary's example I gave you, that every time because disappointed when you're expecting something that people would react towards you, and the reaction is not as expected. So to make that happen, you prepare yourself again.
Thank you, sir. Janvi Tendulkar has asked you a question, sir. Sir, how did you remain motivated? Who was there to motivate you?
My wife. No, there are so many people who constantly motivate you. How much time do we have?
Sukruta madam, may I know the time?
How much time we have?
Oh, sir, you can answer, please.
You can take
you must have read that story about the frogs trying to climb a pole. In a pool of water, there were a few frogs, and a pole was put in between, and everybody started climbing up. As they were climbing, they could climb to a level and then could not go ahead, so they started falling down. So all the frogs which are around started shouting, "No, you can't climb, it's too tall, you'll fall down, you'll die," and all that. But one frog kept on trying, and he reached the top. So people are wondering that in spite of this shouting that you can't make it, you'll fall, you'll drop dead, he did not stop and went and conquered that pole, right? Went up to the top. How did it happen? The story was that that frog was deaf. He did not listen to people who were discouraging him. So if you don't listen to people who discourage you, that's the greatest motivation in your life.
Thank you, sir. Sucheta Pawar madam has asked you, sir. Sir, do you think to be an entrepreneur, there is some minimum age requirement?
Not at all. Not at all. The word itself suggests that you don't have to have any kind of age bar. You can start your business anytime.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, next question is, if you had one piece of advice to our students who are just starting out, then what would it be?
Be focused. Be focused and be sincere what you are doing. You know, there is nothing impossible. I am possible. That's it.
Sir, next question is, if you had not become entrepreneur, what profession would you have chosen?
Difficult. I was in profession. I was doing pest control work. Well, I had a lot of options because my wife, I told you, she's a pediatrician. So I had option to become her driver, her compounder, her helper. I did all that.
Next question, sir. How do you market your business and which tactics have been most successful?
Give best of your service. Your service speaks for itself. There is no question of advertising. Well, certain businesses require advertising, but if you want to be really known, you have to recreate a brand. I will ask you a counter question. Okay, that will answer that question. Suppose you are driving on a highway and you have small children in your car. Okay, consider you are driving from Mumbai to Pune on expressway. In your car, you have got small children, and they say, "Mummy, bhook lagi hai. I'm hungry." They start howling. We want to eat something. What will you do?
I tell him to wait for some time to have patience. Once the journey is over, I'll get something for you.
Will you wait? Children won't. Will you starve them for next 3 hours?
No.
You will
In
find out a
midway
place for
somewhere, in midway somewhere, I'll find some shop.
Which shop will you look for? Vada pav?
No, certainly not.
Right. So what do you look for?
A shop where I could have biscuits, some fruits.
Good healthy food. Good healthy food.
Fruits, biscuits for him.
When you see McDonald's, you think that's the right place for them to be taken there?
No.
No? On a highway, when you have no other access, either you have vada pav or you see a beautiful McDonald's, what will you do?
I'll prefer to go to McDonald's. Yeah.
Obviously, right? This is what happens. You go to, you want to make some mithai at home and you want to use some vanaspati. You go to a shop and ask for what? You ask vanaspati?
No, I ask for
dalda.
Pure ghee.
Not pure ghee. Pure ghee is not required. You want vanaspati. What do you ask for? You ask for dalda.
Dalda, yes.
What is that? It's brand, no? They have created brand over the years. How did that happen? By sheer quality. Because once you say dalda, you know what you're going to buy, what you're going to get. When you go to McDonald's, you know for sure your children are going to get healthy food or at least hygienic food on a highway where nothing is available. So this is what happens in business. What you need to create is a brand for your product or your service. People should identify you with what you're doing.
Sir, one more question we have got from Snehal Dabade. She has asked, sir, how did you maintain balance that not letting success to go in mind, neither the failure disappointing you too deep?
Hold your feet on the ground. Don't allow you to fly off. And the people around you are important. Choose right kind of people around you who are not going to take any kind of disadvantage out of you. And ultimately, it is the culture, samskar, as we say, and build that kind of really culture in your at home with your children, with your colleagues. That helps you to remain or to keep your feet firmly on the ground.
Sir, are there any opportunities for our students in your micro tool? Can we have some type of internship programs between Sathaye and micro tool? I take this opportunity to ask you on this platform.
Certainly. In fact, any kind of chemistry graduates or microbiology graduates are most welcome. There are a lot of things to learn. Yes, radiochemistry. We are into radiation field now. We have set up gamma radiation units at Bangalore and at Delhi. We are putting up a electron beam unit in Bangalore. So opportunities are many, but you should be in a position to travel. You should be in a position to stay alone, learn so many things. Opportunities come your way. You have to just grab them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Definitely, our students will take benefit of these opportunities. Sir, due to time constraint, we cannot take all the questions, but eventually, I'm sure students will get answers to these questions from this entrepreneurship development cell. Sir, thank you so much for this such interaction. Your experience and the incidents you shared with us was really very thrilling. It is my pleasure, sir, to interact with you. Thank you so much for that. Really, it was a memorable experience for me also.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I request Sukruta madam to take the charge. Over to Sukruta.
Yeah. Thank you, Swati. Thank you, sir. I will request Srimati Sumedha Barve madam from BSCIT department to give her concluding remarks for today's program and presenting vote of thanks.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much, madam. Good evening, all. On behalf of Vidyalaya Association, Sathaye College, I take this opportunity to propose concluding remark and vote of thanks to those who have directly or indirectly contributed to the inauguration of Entrepreneurship Development Cell of Sathaye College. At the outset, I thank our chief guest, Dr. Snehalata Deshmukh Madam, for her valuable support. I thank our today's guest of honor and keynote speaker, Sri Bansi Durandar sir. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. We all have got motivated with your wonderful experience as entrepreneur. I'm sure our students will carry the same inspiration and we will get many more entrepreneurs among them in coming future. I thank our guest of honor, Professor Samish Dalal sir, for his presence. His continuous support always encourages us to go ahead on this path. I would also like to thank Dr. Sucheta Pawar madam for her presence and constant motivation. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. M.R. Rajwade sir, for his enthusiastic support. A special thanks to organizing team, teaching and non-teaching staff for their persistent support. And last but not least, our heartfelt thanks to our students for their active participation. With these warm words, we move to the end of today's inauguration program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So here I declare that the program is over. Thank you so much once again, Deshmukh madam. Thank you so much, sir.
So छान झालं, एकदम मजा आली, first class. We can really depend on you, and you shared it so warmly. मुलांना खूपच महत्त्वाचं वाटलं असेल, I'm sure.